Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at the Home Depot out in Carrollton, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. That's the fastest way to get in touch with me. If you want to direct message me, I respond to pretty much everybody, and I would love to connect with you. But today is a beautiful morning, and I ventured out a little bit further from where I'm usually based at. I'm based out more so in North Dallas, but I went ahead and went to the Carrollton Home Depot. This is my first time going to this one. So plant foldies, and for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. We are definitely going to see what plants we'll run into today. So you already know it is fall season, and we are going to be seeing a bunch of these crotons. These are ready to go, grown by Nature's Way, and these are all for $19.84, or actually no, $24.98. $24.98. Crotons are a seasonal plant, or it looks like there's more readily available, at least in the fall. And I can understand why, because you can see that they have a lot of nice fall colors. What's interesting about crotons are they are a tropical plant, so they really need hot, humid environments. And having these grown as patio plants in colder weather is not always the best thing for them long term. And you can see that this is the Halloween season. It is the first week of October, so we do have a bunch of Halloween costumes right here. Again, with a lot of big box stores, you never know what you're gonna really see. So I'm gonna just see if we have a pretty good selection of plants. Home Depot typically does, but some Home Depots actually have more. So I'm hoping that they're going to have more of a plant selection than this table. But anyways, we're going to take a look at this. So this is an orange blooming anthurium. This one is for $18.98. And with anthuriums, the ones that are at least blooming, the common ones, I like them. Some people say that the only anthuriums they like are the ones that are not blooming. Well, all anthuriums bloom. This one particularly blooms a lot more so than the typical anthuriums. I will say that I have been part of my anthurium. I am part of my anthurium era at this point, where I am growing a lot of anthuriums. But these common ones that you'll see at a big box store, I still think we should give them love. I think that we should all bring them in our collections because they are easy to take care of. And when you look at the beautiful leaves that they have, it just gives you a nice statement piece with all of the beautiful blooms. Very easy to take care of. You do want to wait till the soil is about 60 to 70% dry. Water them completely. They're pretty hardy plants. And then we are going to look at this plant right here. So this is a Calathea sanguinea. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Stromanthi sanguinea. This is by Proven Winners Leaf Joy. And I know that Proven Winners right now has a 50% off sale. So normally this is $19.98. But this right now is for $9.98. So I am considering purchasing some more Proven Winner plants. That's the thing about going to a big box store to plant shop. You can find some really good deals, and I'm just going to keep showing you these Stromanthis right here. Stromanthis are a little bit easier to take care of as compared to their distant cousin, or their close cousin, rather, the Calatheas. They do need to be a little bit moist in their soil. You don't really want to water them with hard tap water because that chlorine is going to really mess with their leaves. And then over here we have a Ficus elastica. This one is a Ficus elastica. I think it is a burgundy, or maybe I think it's a Chloe. Anyways, this one is also by Proven Winners, and this one is 50% off as well. It is on sale now for $9.98. This is in a 5.5 inch planter, and that's a pretty good value for it. I think that those are fair prices. I wouldn't buy them full price because here's the thing, and I will tell you, all of my viewers and subscribers, you really want to hold off from buying plants at full price if you can wait till something goes on sale, because a lot of these big box stores, whether it's Lowe's, Walmart, or Home Depot, will either clearance out the plants or put them on sale. Home Depot doesn't really clearance out their plants. It's either they put them on sale or they're not on sale. Lowe's does clearance their plants off to where they're 50% off, but that also means that maybe the plant may not be in the best health. So you have to really weigh their options. But at least for Home Depot, as a big box store, if you're looking for some really good sales and good value for your plants, plant shopping at Home Depot is a good place to go, especially when you have like a proven winter sale. I've been able to snag a couple of plants that I really wasn't intending to purchase. And as you watch my videos on a daily basis, and I did want to say thank you again for taking the time to watch my videos, you will notice that I have added so many plants to my plant collection. So right over here, we've got an Alocasia longiloba, beautiful plant. Again, this is for $29.98, but it is on sale for 50% off. And you can see right here, you can see that there are some little baby longilobas. You can even see that it has a couple of exposed corms right there. You see those little green things right there, those little bulbs. You can actually take those off of the mother plant and propagate them or grow them. I am actually growing a bunch of Alocasia corms in perlite under a heating mat. So what I do with my Alocasia is I grow them in semi-hydroponic. So converting them from soil and moving them into pond has really made a huge difference in being able to at least grow them indoors long term, at least for me. So I wanted to shout out my good friend Janae Simone, who also happens to have a YouTube channel. Please check out our channel for really introducing me into growing my plants semi-hydroponics through either pond or leca. And the thing about it is, what's exciting, plant foldies, especially for those that have been watching my channel for the last 10 months to a year, I will be part of a plant podcast called The Cultivation Corner. The filming and the show will start to happen in October. It's going to be me, Janae Simone, and Steven of I Live Plants. Well, we will at least do 30-minute segments. It's going to be a podcast / show, so you'll be able to see us on film. I might do a face reveal, but definitely check that out. And I did want to put it out there. If you haven't already, please make sure you are supporting both Janae's channel and Steven's channel, because that podcast will be uploaded on my channel, her channel, and Steven's channel. So check that out. And then right over here, plant foldies, we do have a Philodendron gloriosum. I love the look of Philodendron gloriosum. I mean, look at those velvety textures on the leaves. And as you can see, most philodendrons want to climb, but this particular philodendron wants to crawl across a soil substrate or just a substrate in general. So if you repot that philodendron, you want to make sure that you have more of a horizontal type planter, like maybe a rectangular planter that it can crawl across. But we're going to go outside and we're going to check out what plants they have at this Home Depot. Again, it is one of those Home Depots I've never been to. So we're going to see, but as you can see right off the bat, it looks like they've got a good restock of variegated ginger. And I am starting to notice that in the fall time, for some reason, variegated gingers have started to pop up. I don't know if it's because it does have that yellow tone about it to where maybe it has that fall color look, kind of like crotons, but I do love the look of variegated ginger. Here's the thing about variegated ginger. Depending on your grow zone, you can actually grow this in your landscapes. Like I've seen people in Houston, Texas actually grow this in landscapes, and it's been able to live as a perennial. Now this one's for $24.48. That's not a bad price at all. And I've tried to grow variegated ginger indoors because I just thought that the variegation and even the size looks really nice. The problem is with variegated ginger, just like maybe the cordyline Hawaiian tea plant, it is a plant that isn't really conducive to being grown indoors long term. The reason being is it is very much a spider mite prone plant, and I really think a lot of plants that end up getting spider mites while grown indoors, it's because we compromise their health. They're not the healthiest when they're indoors. Maybe they're not getting enough light, maybe they're not getting enough humidity. Something about being brought indoors is not always the best for certain plants, and I would say variegated ginger is one of the plants. So I would caution from trying to grow those indoors. Now over here, Ficus elastica, and what's surprising about the rubber tree, or what you call the Ficus elastica, is I will feature this plant pretty much in all the videos, my past, my current one right here, and my future videos. But what's interesting about the Ficus ruby or the Ficus elastica is this plant is supposed to be a full-blown tree. Like when I was on vacation in the Philippines back in August, I saw Ficus elastica get to the height of about 25 to 30 feet tall. absolutely stunning. You want to make sure that you are giving it quite a bit of light. I always mention that whenever you're watching my plant shopping videos, I'll either talk about plants, I will either talk about my plant insights and commentary, give you some personal news about my life. So hopefully the format works for you guys. But as far as the feedback I've received from y'all, I really appreciate it. I know that a couple of you guys have really been dedicated to going to the live premiere chats. And if you are watching this during a live premiere chat, please do not be shy to say hello on our live premiere chat. We love having more people participate. And as far as just when you're watching this video, I do urge everybody to even leave live comments in the comment section. I really love getting to know you guys, getting to know what plants you're growing. Any plant insight, please share. I will respond to you. And then also, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. When I say that, that's really the only thing I ask. If I'm going to do daily 1 hour plant shopping videos and really invest a lot of hours of time editing, filming, driving, all I ask is if you hit that like button, it is a huge help. It really pushes out this content to even more plant lovers like yourself. Now, going back to the plants, you can see that this one is a Vigoro hanging basket for $19.84. This one is an Epipremnum aureum marble queen pothos. Pothos plants are phenomenal plants to add in any plant collection. Whether you are a seasoned rare plant enthusiast or somebody that's starting their plant journey, any pothos plant, like this neon pothos right here, super easy to grow. And while they are very common plants, I love seeing very lush and full pothos plants, ones that are either trailing or ones that are growing up a totem pole with really large leaves. I think that these, quote, basic plants make the best plants because they're not very fussy. And when you talk about plants that are fussy, the amount of effort we have to place into actually keeping that plant alive sometimes outweighs the beauty of the plant. And you know, an example would be like a calathea. Beautiful leaves, but they don't always live for us long term. Aglaonema silver bay though, this is a plant that is easy to care for, pretty cost effective, very readily available, and it's very underrated. So I just don't understand the last factor of it being underrated. Same thing with Aglaonema golden bay. Look at how beautiful the leaves are and look at the size of this. Now this is for, I believe, $29.98, so around a $30 range, but you can get a really nice size Aglaonema. Aglaonemas are low light tolerant, so you can grow them in lower light conditions. They are drought tolerant. You don't have to water them nearly as much. And as far as pests, I would say maybe potential mealy bugs is something that could hurt the plant. But as far as being pest prone, it's really not pest prone. I think aglaonemas need to be a part of your collection, especially if you are a plant foldy or somebody that watch Grow Folds videos. I am excited to see that I've been able to influence some of you guys to at least try aglaonemas. I just think that there should be more dialogue or discussion around them. And then over here is a cordyline Hawaiian tea plant. This is the kiwi, or what you call the harlequin version. This one is for $24.98. It's a really nice size cordyline plant, and look at those beautiful burgundy stems and just all of the colors that you see. Now with cordyline tea plants, whether it's this one or it's actually cheaper, $19.98. What a really good plant price. So if you're going plant shopping, you might want to get a cordyline tea plant. The thing about it is this plant is really meant to be grown outside. You can try to grow them indoors. The thing about it is if you grow the Hawaiian tea plant indoors, it's going to get spider mites unless you have a huge humidifier near it or you're spraying it down with neem oil. I have been spraying down a lot of my plants with my DIY neem oil. So whenever I water my plants in, under my shower, I end up just spraying them with neem oil. And I'll tell you that routine has really helped just keep a lot of my plant pests at bay. I did have a slight thrift infestation, but most of those plants were kind of in one area. And so at least having that consistency of spraying my plants down. Now, another plant product I would recommend would be We the Wild Neem Oil. It doesn't have that neem oil smell. It actually smells pretty good. And it would be something that would make your leaves shiny for these plants. Like, can you imagine these cordyline tea plants having shiny leaves? And this one is only for $19.98. Having that routine to spray down your plants, the undersides of the leaves, the tops of the leaves, the stems, in between the nodes and the surfaces of their soil substrates, really work out. But as I look around this particular Home Depot, there are a pretty good amount of plants. Like I would still say that the one Home Depot that I visited, which was right off of, I think in West Plano, they had the best selection, but even then, they still have these on sale. 6-inch planters of Pothos plants for only, I think, $9.98. This one is a golden Pothos. It's not as variegated, but needless to say, you have to just get into Pothos. I think that they're an easy to care for plant, a plant that needs a little bit more attention. I think we need to be more hyped up about Pothos plants. Please leave in the comments, plant foldies, if you agree with me. Hopefully you do. And same thing with Aglaonemas, like that particular Aglaonema. I don't know the plant ID, but that's another one that I want to add to my collection. And then we have this right here. This is a string of raindrops. What a really cool looking string of raindrops. Now with string of anything, these are succulent plants or succulent type plants. These plants do require a little bit more bright light. I would say keep them more on the drier side. You don't want to overwater them. And basically make sure that their soil substrate is fast draining and you should be good to go. And then what else do we have here, plant foldies? So you can see that we have visited quite a bit of like Home Depots. And it's a lot of the same plants that you'll see, but having this a YouTube platform to be able to talk about plants freely, again, I just love being able to have that part of my like daily routine. Over here, plant foldies, you can see we have another Aglaonema. This is an Aglaonema Silver Bay. This is by Vigoro Plants, $14.98. That's a really nice price for it. And there's about 2 plants there. You can separate it and create 2 plants. With Aglaonemas, as they get a little bit more mature, they will push out new babies, so you can actually separate them from the mother plant and have more. That's one way to keep an Aglaonema full, is just allowing it to shoot up little baby pups. And then over here we have a Marble Queen Pothos, and we already know, as far as Marble Queen Pothos, beautiful plant. It's another plant that I just would recommend for anybody to grow. Now with Marble Queen Pothos, you do want to give it a little bit more light in order for it to really be more variegated. With a lot of Pothos plants, what I've realized is light really influences the coloration of a Pothos. If you've ever seen like Japanese Pothos, for instance, those Pothos have different types of variegated mutations that they were able to find, but I still feel like in order for them to maintain those unique variegations, those mutations, you want to give it a lot of light. So as far as Marble Queen Pothos, if you want it to be a little bit lighter, more white variegation, more bright indirect light will definitely work for you. And then over here, we have some Sansevieria trifasciatas. Now, I don't know this particular plant ID for it. I just know that it is a snake plant. And it's just funny how snake plants are really marketed as an easy to care for plant. It can be, unless you are an overwaterer, and that's where it gets a little bit tricky, because snake plants like to be more on the drier side, but that doesn't mean that you don't water them at all. They're just a little bit more, they prefer to be more of the drier side. If you, for some reason, underwater it, like where you don't water it at all, it could also go to plant heaven, because it will get what they call dry rot. And then plant foldies, you can see right here, these are proven winners plants. So typically proven winner plants are for more of the gardening outdoors, but they have started to invest into houseplants. You can see right here, this is a Ficus elastica taniki, and this whole table right now is 50% off. So they're for $9.98. So I'm just going to pan around and show you all of the different types of plants. You can see that they've also got a Ficus burgundy. We've also got a Ficus elastica ruby right here. So I'm just going to keep showing you all of the plants that they have available for the Leaf Joy series. Some type of fern right here. I don't really have a lot of fern in my collection. Actually, I'm trying to think if I actually have any fern. I don't think I do, but we do have that available from proven winners. And then we can see right here, we have a trade Scanthia Feeling Flirty. Some people say that this is the Nanook. I don't think it is, because the Nanook has larger leaves and also the purple underside. So I don't think this is a Nanook, but Feeling Flirty trade Scanthia, I ended up purchasing this one already just because I do like the purple pinkish tone that it has. with Tradescanthia, you want to make sure that you are keeping up with it being full because it can become very leggy. So what I would suggest is that when you start seeing it being leggy, you can just prune it back and it will encourage more new growth. And then we just have lots and lots of different types of Leaf Joy proven winter plants. Again, this one is some type of, some asparagus. Or actually, this is a bird's nest fern. I don't have that as well, but if I am going to add a fern into my collection, it would definitely be a bird's nest fern because these can get pretty massive. So plant foldies, we're just going to keep looking at some more of the plants that they have available right here on this table. And you can see plant foldies that we have a bunch of these Leaf Joy H2O bowls. So these are all plants that are growing hydroponically, where it's literally the plant in water. You can see that these are also on sale. Normally they're $19.98, but they're for $9.98. This one is a Syngonium of some sort. They're calling this Syngonium Snow White. Look at how tiny the leaves are. I love the pink veining on it. You know, Syngoniums, I also think are very underrated as far as a collector's plant. I don't really see a lot of people talking about them. And it's a plant that I feel like is so easy to care for, and you can propagate it, that I just wish there was a little bit more dialogue around Syngoniums. Now, Calathea Beauty Star, beautiful plant, but I don't know how long this plant's actually going to last. So, like, we want to make sure that, if you're going to grow a Calathea, that this Calathea is going to be one that you can actually grow long term. So that's just something really interesting. And then we also have, what else? More plants right over here. We've got another Pothos plant. This is also growing in water. And for me, I wouldn't buy a Leaf Joy H2O bowl of Pothos plants because this would be easy to DIY myself. I could just take some Pothos cuttings, root them in water because they are very, very easy to root in water. So, water propagations for me is probably my main source of propagating a lot of plants. This one is already trailing. And again, look at that variegation on this Pothos plant. I would say the more light you provide a Pothos plant, the better variegation you're going to get for sure. And so we're just going to keep looking at a lot of these plants that Proven Winners has. It looks like this Home Depot has quite a bit of plants as well, which is exciting because whenever you go to a big box store, you don't always see it being super full. So we're going to keep looking at more plants right over here, and it looks like we have some more Syngoniums. And we'll just leave in the comments what plants you like, what plants you would purchase, what plants you are currently growing. Again, I love that engagement, and I love just responding to all of your comments. So definitely take the time to do that for me. And if you made it this far into the video, again, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. I would really appreciate it. I'm just going to keep showing you all of the beautiful plants that they have available at this Home Depot. This one's a beautiful Epipremnum aureum Enjoy Pothos for $5.98. And, this is a Pothos that is a little bit slower growing. The leaves are a little bit smaller, but look at that variegation for it. And what I like about the Enjoy Pothos is even if you don't provide it with the best lighting conditions, it'll still hold on to a lot of its variegation. But you can see right here, I am almost tempted to spend $5.98 on this particular plant because it's a pretty healthy looking plant, and that variegation is stunning. Now, if you were to be able to successfully grow a Pothos Enjoy on a totem pole or moss pole and actually have its aerial roots attached, it will give you some massive leaves, and those leaves would be highly variegated to the point where I've said this in a lot of my videos, but if you want a cheaper alternative, a more cost-effective alternative to buying houseplants, and you want, like, say, a Monstera albo looking plant, grow yourself a Enjoy Pothos on a totem pole, a moss pole, or a plank. and let those leaves get large, it'll start to look like a variegated monstera, which I think is a good alternative, because you can even see right here, this one is already trailing, and you can see that there's some aerial roots. What I would do is actually attach that, like repot this plant and then like attach and those roots, those aerial roots into a moss pole, and then let it attach, and then hopefully the plant will continue to want to climb up the pole. That's the fastest way to expedite getting it into mature form. Now with pothos plants, they are called epiphytes. So basically you can in nature, they look for trees, they look for something to attach on, so that way they can grow up a tree to try to get as much light as possible. That's the reason why that is their natural growth habit. Same thing with Epipremnum pinnatums. Both plants are very much endemic to my home country, the Philippines, and it's just really interesting that we have all of that. But that is a really nice trailing one. Like, I probably should have bought this and probably tried to attach this on a pole. If I find something like that again, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug and actually buy that. But I'm going to keep showing you all of these other plants right here for $5.98 by Proven Winners, Leaf Joy Littles. We have, and then right over here we have a Ficus benjamina. This is a variegated one. This one is the green on green one. Now these ones are also for $29.98, but Home Depot has these all on sale for 50% off. So you can buy this particular plant for $14.98, which I think is a really good deal. That is the reason why I ended up buying the one that was white variegated ones, as well as this green shields plant right here. So Costa Farms actually has released this particular plant. I can't really, grow, actually fathom actually buying this plant and growing this long term. But for some reason, the plant that I got was pretty full, and it's actually doing very well. I mean, some people say that it's a pretty finicky plant, but I haven't had any issues, and I did end up getting it on sale. So my plant shopping, I did save a bunch of money at Home Depot for only $14.98. And if you have a Home Depot around your area, double check to see if these plants are on sale. Like, this is a plant that I bought. This is another Ficus benjamina. Look at the variegation, and actually this would make a really good pre-bonsai or a bonsai specimen. You already know Plant Foldies, I love bonsai trees, and I really do need to give you an update on some of my plants. Now, if you're subscribed to my channel and you have the notification bell on, you will see that I post or upload shorts clips of some of my personal plants. Yesterday I uploaded 2 of my anthuriums that were growing in semi-hydroponics, one in Leca, one in Pond, that I actually ordered from Green Spaces ID. I imported it. So again, it's really important that if you are subscribed to my channel, that you check to see if the notifications bell is on. That way, whenever I upload new content, you're immediately notified. And if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, because then you'll be able to see me walk around and show you all of these beautiful plants. Like this right here, variegated Ficus benjamina. Look at that one leaf where it's pretty much white. I thought that this plant would be a little bit more finicky, but what I did with this particular plant is it's growing in my plant room, and it is placed on the south facing window, so it gets a lot of bright light. There are also grow lights that supplement it. Now with ficus plants, you want to make sure that you are providing it with quite a bit of bright light in order for it to really thrive. If you're able to give it some humidity, it's also going to be happy as well. You don't really want to move ficus plants around. They really like consistency, especially like the fiddle fig leaf or the Ficus lyrata, but the Ficus benjamina is another plant that can be finicky as well. I've seen this plant actually drop its leaves when it is not happy. But as far as this Home Depot, would I say that it has the biggest selection of plants? No, but I would say that they still have a pretty full and impactful selection, and I appreciate that. And that's the thing about big box store plant shopping. You already know I feature big box store plants or house plants because they are generally more available to the average person. I love supporting small businesses. I always say if you had to choose between small business and a big box store, definitely support your small businesses. You already know that I will feature plant shops like Peter's Planters, for instance. That's a place that is actually going to be the home of our podcast for Cultivation Corner, but that's one place that I would recommend. But in terms of going to all of these big box stores, I don't mind making the big drive around all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area because number one, most of these big box stores are only within 5 to 10 minutes from where I'm based at from each other, so there's plenty of places to go. But as I pan around here, it's a pretty organized area. There's enough plants for you to really choose and make some selections. And so I'm just going to keep showing you some more plants right here. See right here, we've got some Phytonias right there. I really like that a lot. And that one is actually a special hybrid from Proven Winners Leaf Joy little series. And then if you want Hoya, so I love the fact that Proven Winners is really investing a little bit more in their house plants. I'm hoping that they will release more because Proven Winners is really known for a lot of their outdoor gardening plants. Take a look at this, for instance. So $5.98. We've got an Epipremnum aureum, golden pothos. Look at that half moon variegation. And then we have more syngoniums. Now this one is a syngonium milk confetti, but you know, Proven Winners likes to change the names of their plants. So like this one is a champagne rain. This one is also 50% off and on sale. So this is for $9.98. Like I don't think that is a bad price. $19.98 for that though. Full price would be a little bit pricey for me. Beautiful syngonium. I already have this one. Otherwise I would like pick it up as well. You know, some people will consider the milk confetti a little bit more uncommon. But for me, it has actually become readily available because it is in a big box store. And that's the thing, plant foldies, once a plant makes it into a big box store, you can pretty much consider it a common plant because big box stores have to, you know, before a nursery actually sends a bunch of plants to a big box store, it takes years. And I learned this from Costa Farms, actually watching their videos. 2 to 3 years for them to really have the stock. So once that, you know, plant makes it into a big box store, you already know that that plant is going to be restocked. So say you don't buy the plant while you're going plant shopping. That's okay. You're going to eventually find the plant again at some point. Maybe not the same one, but I've had to tell myself that. Although I would say, again, it's one of those catch 23 types where like you should have bought the plant, but you didn't buy the plant. And then when you didn't buy the plant, you regret the plant, and then you're hoping that it comes back, and then it takes a minute for it to come back. So I don't know what to tell you guys because I should probably follow my advice and not spend nearly as much money on plants. I really am asking anybody who is an avid grow fold, plant foldy, please leave in the comments today, if you are watching this video, about either your plant budget, how much you've spent on plants in the last month. I'm really curious to see if I'm even in line with everybody else, because I feel like I've spent more than somebody's mortgage in between, you know, going to PlantCon 2024 in Dallas and just going and doing my big box or plant shopping videos. Like, it is very rewarding to be able to just walk around and see all of these gorgeous plants on a daily basis. Like literally, I will be editing my videos in between my breaks at work, and then as soon as I get off work, I will hop in my car and go to the nearest big box store to film. And that's really the dedication I'm really trying to put into this YouTube channel. And the reason why I do that is, number one, it really helps keep me grounded. You know, I have a very stressful job. I'm very busy, but for some reason, surrounding myself around plants and also having that daily routine about filming, editing, and most importantly interacting with you guys on the live chat and even on Instagram has really just helped make things a lot more manageable for me in terms of the level of stress, and there's just so much positive benefit from me just creating this content. And so again, plant folies, I know some of you guys were concerned about me like overworking myself. Trust and believe, if I have to take a break, I will let you know. Or if I'm not able to do a plant shopping video, like a brand new one, I will compile some videos. Although I think maybe putting 3 videos in one might be a little bit long. So I'm thinking of doing maybe just 2 videos if I do a compilation of videos, just to get everybody some type of content. Anyways, going back to the plants, you already know, plant folies, I love to talk. Love to talk. Let's look at these cactus right here. So this is actually a pretty good looking cactus. Now the colorful part is actually grafted on. I don't know a lot about these cactus, but what I do know is that it is commonly seen at big box stores. So if you have any insights on this particular plant cactus, let me know in the comments. But as far as what I've seen so far with the big box stores, there's just quite a bit to choose from. Somebody had asked me the other day which big box store I prefer to shop at. Honestly, I like to shop at all of them because you get the best pricing. It just really depends on when you walk in. Sometimes you'll get lucky and it's 50% off. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get like a certain uncommon or rare plant that you didn't expect. Now, as far as the aloe vera, this one was also on sale. These are all for $5. So this is more of like the medicinal aloe vera that we all know about. So it was really eye-opening for me as I've done these plant shopping videos to realize that there are so many more varieties of aloe vera. For instance, the last time I was in a big box store like Home Depot, I ended up buying a variegated aloe vera, and that was super cool. I just never really thought that there were some other varieties of aloe vera, and that just goes to show that as you really pay attention to different types of families of genus of plants, they just become a little bit more readily accessible. Like this right here, a bunch of succulent plants. You can see this is some type of crusala right here, or jade plant. Love me some jade plants. I'm surprised I don't have any more jade plants except the variegated one that I made into a bonsai, which, by the way, to my plant foldy viewer subscriber from Canada, Kathy, I am going to do a update and show you that as well in one of my future videos. You can see right over here, this is actually the echeveria that I want to buy. This is the Lola. Now, the reason why I want to buy the Lola is if you look at the shape of this really does look like a little flower. I find it endearing, and I do love that it has like that grayish mint tone about it. So I have bought some echeverias. I bought the smaller varieties, but you can see right here as I pick these up, I'm just going to show you all of the different types of plants. Now this is considered a crusala or a jade plant, but it's got a pretty large leaf for jade plants. You can see that the edges have that red around it. So for now, I'm just going to keep showcasing some of these succulents. Let me know which ones you like, or if you have any care tips for some of them in the comment section. And you can see that the Smart Plants is actually doing a sale on their smaller echeveria or succulents. So these are actually 3 for $10 or $3.33. So I'm just going to keep pulling up some of them. Like this one's actually in bloom. That's super cute. And you can see that they have this one right here. This is called Tasha. Well, this Tasha one looks really pretty, and you can see that it has a bloom. For those that are very much versed in growing succulents and like specifically echeveria, can you leave in the comment section what your plant ID these would be for these plants, as well as just the plant care tips? Like this one right here, I wouldn't mind buying because I do like that shape. This one right here, let's see, is this is a Serpentina. It looks more like the Lola that I want to buy, but I do want to collect more of these plants. Some people will mix them up and do like a mix succulent container, but I kind of want to keep them like that. And I love how they have it organized. You can see as I pan away, we have a bunch of mixed planters. So this is by Smart Plants, $26.98, but you have a bunch of like succulents and just a nice little succulent arrangement. So as you can see right here, plant foldies. I'm going to pan away and just continue to show you what succulents and cactus they have available, as well as all the other plants. I want to buy this one right here. This is a Calloway that I like, and the reason why is it's got that velvety, like fuzzy texture about it, and I would just really be interested to see how it would look once it gets a little bit larger. And as I really immerse myself in looking closely at succulents and cactus, I've grown to appreciate them a little bit more so than just my tropical aeroids. For instance, look at this. Look at the shape of this particular succulent. This one is also on sale for $3.33 if you bought it individually, but if you bought 3 of them, you would get it for $10. So if, you know, I was just thinking now is the time to purchase these succulents that I want to try growing, especially when they are on sale. So who knows, plant foldies, I might end up talking more so about succulents. I know one of my most loyal plant foldies that I got to meet in person, her name is Trish at PlantCon. She was actually the very first person to go into PlantCon 2024 in Dallas. She has influenced me to try and grow more euphorbias, succulents, and cactus. So we're gonna see what that all looks like for me long term. I'm gonna, maybe buy some more of these succulents. You'll know once I start to feature them on my home plant tour, which I have been working on. I know I've been talking about doing a house plant tour video since last winter. It is coming, and it's coming very shortly. I do appreciate the amount of varieties of starters that they have over here. So for me, if I'm gonna buy a plant that I'm not as familiar with, I'd rather start with a smaller plant because then it's less of a monetary investment to see if I can keep that plant from going to plant heaven. But you can see right here, these are called lithophs, or what you call living stones. Very interesting texture to their they're actually just, this one looks like Pac-Man right over here for $3.33. That's something that I find intriguing as well. When it comes to like succulents and cactus, I just am not as confident about giving care tips for these plants because again, I'm still learning. So I am asking anybody, and this is what I was actually looking for, this Echeveria Lola. I think I'm going to end up buying this. I am asking for those that are a little bit more versed with the succulents and cactus. Let me know what ones, like for instance, these Echeverias, would you put that in full sun? What does that look like? I really would love to hear your comments about it. That's a beauty about having this plant channel is we do have daily plant shopping videos, just daily plant content, so we can all kind of congregate and really celebrate plants and just plant care. But that is one thing I want to ask of our viewers is if you know succulents and cactus plant care, please let me know in the comment section. I would love that. I mean, you can see right here, this one is a really nice looking shape for a succulent. So I have taken a little bit more time to look at the succulents and cactus, and I do like the fact that they have them in trays. They're really organized, and there's just a lot to look at and choose from. You can see that the cactus as well are 3 for $10. That is a really good price. So I'm just gonna go pull a couple out here and show you, and notice how they just have a really nice shape, and even the texture of the needles are really cool. So these amount to about $3.33 each, or 3 for $10. So whichever one you want, if you just want to start out with one, this one looks like it just has a bloom. That's just very lovely, and I just want to keep showing you these different types of plants that they have available here. And as you can see, plant foldies, we've just got several different types of cactus and succulents. So again, you know, as far as succulents and cactus lovers that are grow folds, plant foldies, here you go. I have attempted to try to show succulents and cactus in all of my videos, and I have really become intrigued with them. I mean, look at this right here. That is such a cool looking cactus right there, and it looks like it's just a bunch of like spider webs. And you know, with Halloween around the corner, that would make like a really cool seasonal type of plant display. I don't know. I know that we're looking at crotons, we're looking at mums, we're looking at all sorts of plants, but I would even think that succulents and cactus would make really interesting Halloween decorations. All of the shapes are really interesting, and you know, the only care tip I could give for succulents and cactus would be don't overwater them. Make sure you have fast draining soil. So you don't want to use the typical potting mix that you would buy at a big box store or a local nursery. And just make sure when you're watering your succulents and cactus that you're not really watering them from the top. You don't want to soak the water. I mean, not the water. You don't want to soak the leaves. You want to make sure that you can, if possible, bottom water them, or just water them from the base. That way that the water doesn't stay and doesn't like rot out the plant, because that is a potential. And then you can see right here for $19.98, we are at Home Depot. So we have a bunch of Vigoro hanging baskets. So this one right here is a Pothos plant. This one looks like it has some hard water that hit it, because you can see all of that dust on the leaves. That's an easy fix. Like if you use the neem oil spray that I use, it'll make the leaves clean and shiny. And you can see right here, we have some type of Monstera Adansonia. This one has to be more of a juvenile form. You can see that it's not as fenestrated. I actually wish it wouldn't get nearly as fenestrated. Just little holes would actually be super cute. That is for $19.98. And I just like showing all of the different, you know, different Pothos plants, different hanging baskets. I'm actually in the hunt to purchase some more Pothos plants. I think I was really, like, I guess, influenced or even inspired to just start growing more Pothos plants like I used to. I used to like propagate like 60 to 70 cuttings at once when I had Pothos plants, and they basically just filled up my whole house. And I think the whole process of propagating plants, creating new life, being able to get free plants, being able to, I guess, increase your plant collection just through propagation is a really good deal. And you know, Pothos plants, if you haven't already gotten yourself a Pothos plant, try getting one. They're very forgiving, they're easy to grow, they're pretty cost effective. It is a plant that I would recommend, especially for those that are beginning their plant journey. I say that in all of my videos, but I seriously hope that you guys will consider growing Pothos plants. They bring me a lot of joy. You know, it's one of the first plants that I've grown. I've seen many different ways of growing a pothos plant, you can have them grow as a hanging basket and let them trail, or you can let them grow up a totem pole or a moss pole and really get that large size leaf. So there's just a lot when it comes to pothos plants, and obviously like the neon pothos, classic pothos plant, I love it. And again, it's only for $19.84. So we're just going to keep looking at a couple more plants before we go to the next stop, which will be a local nursery. So hopefully you will stick around to the very end of the video, but I am going to keep walking around, and what I want to do is just show you the remainder of all of the crotons plants right over here. You can see these are the Croton Petra plants, and it is fall season. We are in the first week of October, and these are for $19.98. I did tell myself I will buy some Croton plants for the season, and in general, I just want to be able to grow them long term. My grandmother has been able to grow a Croton plant to a really large size. She's had them for years, so we're going to see what that looks like. So I'm just going to go pan around and show you the rest of the plants that they have outdoors here. And you can see plant foldies. What a beautiful selection of Croton Petras, Croton Mame plants. This whole area looks like it is on fire, and you can see we have a mixed planter of some mums and I think some type of ornamental grass. And as I turn around here, we have even more mums. It is the fall season, so this is the reason why you will see these. These ones are for $29.98, but what's really cool is this one is actually in a self-watering planter. What an interesting concept for mums. Now with mums, you do want to give them quite a bit of light, but they do prefer to be in shade as well. You can also make sure that you don't let their soil dry out completely. So you want to make sure that you're consistently watering them. They are perennial plants, and for those that don't know what perennials mean, that means that those plants, depending on your grow zone, can grow back year after year. My grow zone is 8B, which is North Dallas, and so these plants are actually considered perennial plants for me. So you can actually plant mums in the ground, and they will come back year after year. But again, I love walking around Home Depot, even if it's the same plants. I know that a lot of my content has basically the same plants, but I guess if you enjoy my commentary, or if you just enjoy looking at plants, that's really what the draw is for me to make all of these plant shopping videos, is to show you all of these plants to perhaps get you inspired to go out there and shop. Now over here is a local plant nursery. We're going local plant nursery shopping at Calloway's Nursery, which is out in Prosper, Texas. And if you made it this far into the video, please make sure you are hitting the like button for this video. Again, it is a huge help for my channel, and I hope that you can at least reward me for my efforts by just hitting the like button. And then as you can see right here, this will be just a little bit of a short overview of Calloway's Nursery. I haven't been to this particular location, the Prosper one, in a while. It is one of the more smaller locations, but like like I've always mentioned, just because an area is smaller doesn't mean that it doesn't have impact. They have definite impact. And right now, I was just talking about buying some Pothos hanging baskets. They have the golden Pothos one specifically for 50% off. So they're normally $22.99, but with it being 50% off, I think I am going to end up buying some of these Pothos plants. You can see right here, we've got golden Pothos, we got some philodendron heteroraceums, and Again, I think I am gonna just start me a Pothos jungle in my plant collection. I mean, like right here, I do want to buy a philodendron heteroraceum, just a green form. I have the neon form and it is lovely, but the green form is absolutely stunning. But again, plant foldies, it is about just me spending all this money on these plants, but how can you not spend money on plants that bring you joy? Like every time I go home, I look at all of the beautiful plants I have and I'm like, you know what? I am okay. I am okay spending this money because these plants really bring me some serenity, bring me joy, and then I'm able to share my excitement for my plants. And I know that sounds crazy, but really, I look forward, plant foldies, to seeing you guys on the live premiere chats, to making this content, to talking about plants. And I mean, like this right here, I'm gonna end up buying this. This is a Neon Queen Pothos. I have the 4-inch one, but I wanted to buy the 6-inch one, and that is just stunning. Look at that variegation for that Pothos. Now this one is for $16.99. It is a little bit more pricey, but with Pothos plants, I don't mind having 1,000,001 Pothos. Honestly, it might actually be better for me and maybe some of you guys where we just have easy to care for plants, where we're not having to worry so much about high humidity, where we're not having to worry so much about like high, providing a specific light or whatnot. Pothos plants, I guess if you want to maintain some of the variegation, you can give them better lighting, but Pothos plants, for instance, are just easy to care for plants. I asked plant foldies as we walk through the local plant nursery Calloway's, let me know what easy care plants you like, what you would recommend, what you wouldn't add to your plant collection. Again, I'm asking for more commentary and content, comments in the comment section, because I do really want to know what y'all's mindset is when it comes to some of these plants. Like this Calathea, I can't do any more Calatheas, but I ended up buying 3 Calatheas, for instance, because it was such a good price. $18.88 for a 10-inch planter, and they were stunning. I have been able to get away with having these Calatheas not crisp up on me yet. I have to water them every like 3 days under my shower. I think growing plants and watering them in my shower has made it much easier for me to maintain watering. So that's something that I definitely think has helped me out a lot. And plant foldies, you already know I still love Coleus plants, and Coleus plants are another plant that a lot of people overlook in terms of growing as a house plant. You can grow them outdoors, which is where they would really prefer, but you can grow them indoors. Look at how lovely these Coleus plants are. So I'm just gonna pan around and show you these Coleus plants. You can see there are so many different varieties of Coleus plants. Like this one is beautiful. This one actually can take full sun. And the pricing for Coleus plants, at least at Callaway's, is not really that expensive. And again, plant foldies, you can grow Coleus plants indoors. This one is only for $6.99, for instance. So you have different types of Coleus plants. This is from the Wizard series. And what I like about Coleus plants are the propagation potential. You can literally take a cutting from a Coleus plant, even if it's not a node cutting, stick it in soil. Within a week, you have a brand new plant. And with Coleus plants, you do want to cut them back because they can get a little bit leggy. Some people will actually grow them into full-blown trees where you're literally taking the bottom leaves off, letting it grow to the size you want, and then chopping the top off to go encourage more branching. Some people will braid Coleus plants so that way they can actually like fuse together and become a full plant. Coleus plants, as they mature, can potentially become a little bit more woody. I have seen some beautiful European Coleus Instagram pages where it's just dedicated to Coleus plants. It's so interesting that certain parts of the world can celebrate a specific plant. I know that in Japan, for instance, and I'm going off topic a little bit, but chrysanthemums or mums, there are full-blown like festivals for mums, celebrating mums in Japan, and you could just see some of the hybrids that they have in Japan for chrysanthemum. So I just think that that's really interesting. And then you can see that even in Europe, they love some Coleus plants. They call it the palette leaf. And as I walk around here, we are also seeing a bunch of cyclamen. So cyclamen always come out, especially in the fall season. They tend to be more readily available when the weather is a little bit cooler. I can understand why, because I think they prefer cooler weather. Please leave in the comments and let me know if that is correct. But I love the look of cyclamen leaves, specifically more so than the actual blooms. And as you can see right here, plant foldies, we're just gonna walk around and I'm just gonna keep showing you just a little bit more of what this local plant nursery has. You can see we have a bunch of Calloway here, and I believe all of the 4.5, 5-inch planters are only for $6.99. What I love about Calloway's is any location, they have what they call the Garden Rewards membership. So if for some reason you're not satisfied with the plant, for instance, you can return the plant full back, full refund, money guaranteed back, as long as you have the plant with you and as long as you're a Garden Rewards member. So I always find that interesting, because if for some reason that plant may be on the verge of going to plant heaven, or you're not necessarily satisfied, they're able to do that. I didn't realize that you can actually do that at big box stores, so I have saved some of my receipts. Not that I intend to send plants to plant heaven, on purpose, but there is always that little bit of a cushion. Now over here, plant foldies, look at how big that Monstera deliciosa can get. Huge Monstera deliciosa. I want mine to grow that big. My Monstera Thai Constellation that I've had for a couple years now is actually getting that size. So I'm super excited to finally show y'all that whenever I do my houseplant video tour. I think it's something that definitely is one that I'm really taking my time on, because I want to make sure that I edit my video correctly. I'm able to really present something beautiful for y'all. But as you can see here, plant foldies, beautiful plants, African violets, super easy plant to grow. You would think that African violets, as thirsty as they are, would be really challenging for me to grow, but they've actually been quite forgiving. I would say with African violets, they prefer a more acidic soil. You want to water them from the bottom, like bottom watering them, versus getting their leaves wet, because that really can rot away their stems. Not a good thing. And then over here we have a zebra plant, $14.99. It is blooming. I really like the look of that as well. You can see that it is just one that it's pretty common to see, but it's not one that I would actually run to try to get. And you can see right here, this is a variegated Philodendron benephophyllum. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's really interesting. And then I do intend to purchase one of these bromeliads, this Pacific bromeliad. This one is for $24.99, but it is a beautiful bromeliad. I kind of want to mount it on a wall. I think that would be super cool. Or if you're going to display it, it definitely has to be up, like on the floor down. Now, I lucked out by getting one of these xanthosomas. So this xanthosoma is only for $16.99. I got one that was super full. I happened to go to a Calloway's when they just recently did a restock, and rather than spending $19.84 for a Trending Tropicals Costa Farms one that was smaller, I was able to get one at such a larger size. And I do want to get more anthuriums, and so I'm showing you this anthurium right here. What I think about anthuriums is that as long as you're able to put them in semi-hydroponic conditions, anthuriums are so easy to grow, at least for me. Now I do have a plant room, so that means with my plant room, I'm able to control the humidity a little bit more. If you're able to keep your humidity levels between 60-65, that's a really good humidity level, and it's really been helping with my alocasia, my anthuriums, just all of my humidity loving plants, and all of my philodendrons too. I would say with all of those types of plants, if you can give them more humidity, they're going to be a little bit happier for you. Just kind of like if you give plants more bright indirect light in general. Now over here for $19.99 is a Philodendron Pink Princess. And again, with Philodendron Pink Princess, you really want to be picky. There's some Philodendron Pink Princess varieties that just have better pink variegation or higher pink variegation. And then over here, what's interesting, and I've talked about this, is Costa Farms is also sending a lot of their plants to local nurseries. So this is for $69.99. This is a Monstera Esqueleto. That is another plant that is on my wish list. Beautiful plant. It's just one plant that I haven't gotten a hold of just yet. And you can see right here, we've got a Ficus elastica burgundy. Love the dark colors. Ficus elastica is fantabulous with its dark colors. And then you can see right here, this is a large Philodendron Bob C. So this particular Calloway's has some rare philodendrons. That's for $149.99. But look at that. It's already staked up. It's already got some mature leaves. Really like the look of that as well. So with philodendrons, like we talked about, like this one is a philodendron Goldie Eye. Beautiful plant. I think this is what, for $49.99. Let's take a look at it real quick. Yeah, $49.99. That is not a bad price at all for a plant that's already getting pretty large. And look at this Monstera Thai constellation. Now look at this Monstera Thai constellation. It is highly variegated. Now this one is not for sale. I think that the nursery is just growing it out. Beautiful specimen. It looks like the new leaf just unfurled. It almost reminds me of that new Monstera Thai constellation mutation called Monstera Green Snow with that variegation. And you can see right here, this is an Epipremnum pinnatum, but the mature form. So usually, like you can see, like an Epipremnum pinnatum Cebu Blue, that's what happens when you actually let that plant that typically is sold as a hanging basket grow in its natural way. That's what they look like in the Philippines. They literally just crawl up trees and get that fenestration. And then over here is a philodendron Dark Lord. So this one is for $99. I wouldn't mind spending $99 on a philodendron Dark Lord. It's already growing up a stake, and I love dark foliage plants. I cannot tell you how much I love dark foliage plants. And then over here, we have another philodendron Molted Dragon. This one's been with them for a while, and it's doing very well. And then I don't know what that big philodendron right here is on a pole, but needless to say, look at how massive it is. I'm loving the fact that they have this little corner for their philodendrons. I think that is super cool. That's actually one of the first Calloway nurseries that I've seen that have just really dedicated that, and I am loving it. Now over here, plant foldies, we are also looking at some more of these Monstera Thai constellations. With Monstera Thai constellations, they have become more of a common plant. Now the plant pricing is still kind of high, but not as high as I'd say 4 years ago. You can see right here, we've got an Alocasia Variegated Frydek for $59.99. That is the Variegated Frydek. That is the Variegated Alocasia of the hour. That one is becoming a little bit more readily available. It's so beautiful, and I'm glad that my Alocasia Variegated Frydek is finally acclimating to its semi-hydroponic medium. You know, it took a minute, but it is starting to work out for me, and so I am super excited about that. There's always going to be some risk whenever you move a plant from into a different substrate. Sometimes they don't make that transition, but oh, I'm so thankful that it made it through. A lot of my plants did. The only one that didn't was my Alocasia Jacqueline, but as I walk around here, I do want to show you some more plants. It looks like these are all not for sale plants. These are just plants that the store is growing. Again, this is a beautiful variegated philodendron Benepophyllum, and I have one that I got from PlantCon 2024 in Dallas. But as you can see here, plant foldies, I want to mix up a little bit of the big box stores with my local plant nursery video. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. I am striving very hard to try to get you that daily plant content. So if you like this video, definitely give me some insights for the videos. I will have a local nursery plant swap video hopefully by tomorrow, and we'll see what that looks like. But as you can see here, if you ever visit the Dallas-Fort Worth area, definitely visit Calloway's nursery. Definitely check out Home Depot right now. You'll get some really good plant finds. If you like this video, please hit the like button. It is a huge help for me, plant foldies. You already know that I will repeat myself multiple times because that does help. And as always, my name is Richie at Grow Folds. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel with the notification bell on. I'll see you tomorrow.